I'm Steve Liss, CEO of OpenAds.ai, and we're building the ad technology that powers consumer AI. To understand how AI will reshape the internet, all you need is to Google how to make an apple pie. If you've been to any recipe site, you know the first thing you read isn't the recipe, it's a description of how delicious pies are, followed by a story of how the author's grandma used to bake pies for Thanksgiving, followed by a list of pros and cons of different varieties of apples. By the time you find anything resembling an actual recipe, you've been shown dozens of different ads. Recipe sites meander not because that's good content, but because every second you spend on page is a chance to serve you more ads. All content on the internet is shaped by its business model. Form follows finance. It's why YouTube videos are often 8 minutes exactly, because that's the minimum length you need to fit an ad break in the middle. It's the reason our social media feeds promote clickbait and controversy to drive engagement. Influencers and politicians modify their behavior to make sure Twitter's algorithm picks them up, an algorithm driven, at the end of the day, to maximize ad impressions. But let's ask an AI for a pie recipe. ChatGPT gets straight to the point. It feels like the old internet, before the ads got to it. Now, not to jinx it, but where are all the ads on AI content? Well, the bad news is they're absolutely coming. AI is expensive to run, and we're used to getting the internet for free, without paying subscriptions. The good news is we have a chance to do better. Every time there's been a new media format, advertising gets reinvented. This has happened for radio. It's happened for television. Google Ads powered the desktop internet. In-app mobile ads powered Web 2.0. The shift from static to real-time AI-generated content that we're experiencing is going to be much bigger. OpenAds.ai exists because the old ad tech doesn't work on dynamic AI content. For example, if I have a typical travel blog, Google Ads can scan that in advance, and it knows to show flight and hotel ads. But if I'm ChatGPT, advertisers have no idea what conversation is going to come out of that. To advertise on AI, you need an AI writing the ads. Now, every generation of advertisers has asked themselves, what if we made fewer, better ads? Wouldn't that be good for everyone? But that's been an impossible dream until now, thanks to AI. Here's an example of a chatbot. If I ask it for healthy meal prep ideas, the AI will answer. What OpenAds does is analyze the user's conversation with the AI, pick the most relevant advertiser on our network, and write the most relevant ad possible given that context. Just like a human salesperson could infer that this meal prepper is looking to save time, our AI has written an ad that highlights this brand's convenience and speed. This experience is comparable to a good search ad, and Google earns up to $50 per click from valuable keywords like insurance or lawyer. And it's able to do that without tracking your user data. It's all based on the context. But let's not stop here. Great ads solve problems. They recommend something you didn't know you wanted to know about. But how far can you really trust ads? There's always an economic bias at play. We can run an AI inside our ads that users can interact with. You can ask this ad for Reddit posts or TikTok reviews about the brand. Ask it about the company's products. This is what gets me excited about OpenAds. We're building ads worth turning off your ad block. But something's missing here. If these AIs are giving us answers trained from human content, how does that recipe blogger stay in business if no one visits her site? For that matter, how do journalists get paid? How does the open web survive AI? Our media platforms are threatened by AIs absorbing all their content. Paywalls are just a temporary solution. They block humans along with AIs. This is the threat and the opportunity of the generative internet. How does traditional media incorporate AI to create dynamic content that doesn't get scraped up by other AIs? In a few years, every site is going to have an AI interface on top of its content, whether that's chatbots, interactive news feeds, or applications we haven't even dreamt up yet. OpenAds is building the ad technology they're going to need to survive and thrive. I was having lunch with some other tech founders the other day, and to spark the conversation, I asked, what year did the internet peak? And the answer varies depending how old you are, whether you were a MySpace kid, maybe if you grew up inside Minecraft. but the consensus is usually sometime in the early 2010s. That was when platforms like Facebook and Instagram hadn't quite homogenized how we consume content, and our news feeds weren't as hyper-optimized for advertising as they are today. The internet used to feel like a flea market, but it's gotten to become more like a big box store. Ironically, artificial intelligence feels like a throwback to a more authentic, more human internet, largely because AI content hasn't been optimized for advertising yet. This gets to the heart of OpenAds' mission. We're building the revenue model to make AI freely accessible to the public, but we want to use the power of AI to create authentic ads that people are happy to see.